So what if you invented the world's most sophisticated cyber weapon, turned it loose on its mission, and then by a sort of low-tech oversight managed to release it to the rest of the world to basically take and reverse engineer as it saw fit? That's the thesis behind an article by the Smithsonian Magazine, of all places, based on an interview with Richard Clarke, who is a cyberterrorism and counterterrorism expert and has been for, I believe, the last 3 presidential administrations. In that article, which is just out, Clarke says that Stuxnet is solely a U.S. invention, and perhaps there was some nominal help by the Israelis, but indeed this particular very sophisticated computer virus did reach its target in the Iranian nuclear system and took down several key component parts, as we recall from about a year ago. The problem is that according to Clarke, a lot of the computer software in Iran is basically pirated from other sources and may not necessarily have the appropriate clock set to when the software is actually happening. In other words, Stuxnet was created basically with a suicide device. In other words, it would go do its job. A certain date would happen, like the next day or something. If it didn't get its job done by a particular day, or if it did get its job done and that particular day came, it would just self-destruct. Well, if the software was pirated and the date clock set for 1997, it's entirely possible that the suicide mechanism wouldn't work. So what Clarke is saying is that, in effect, the United States released Stuxnet around the world. It's been reported to have infected other computer systems, but is not harmful to it because it asks a very specific question about the equipment it surrounds, and if it doesn't find 2 very specific types of equipment used to power nuclear reactor equipment, there's nothing it can do. It's a very specifically trained virus. Also very interesting within that same article in Smithsonian is the allegation that, or the contention that we are very much involved in a serious cyber war with China, and that China has infiltrated basically almost every U.S. company looking for technology secrets and things like that, and that it could be very likely that we would lose a war with China in the near future because their cyber warfare technology is so advanced, and the United States uses so many different systems and bits and pieces and parts that come from China that could be carrying harmful malware, that if we were to send a couple of ships to protect Taiwan, say, from a Chinese invasion, there'd be little to stop the Chinese from launching a cyber attack on those ships and rendering them basically useless. So again, Smithsonian is not usually the place to look for this type of thing, but Richard Clarke's piece is very interesting, and I recommend that you take a look at it.